Hey everybody, it's me, J. Allen Cross. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Things might look a little bit different since last time you saw me. I have moved since then. So I'm very happy to be back to work on some more videos. So today I'm going to be showing you how to dress a Novena candle because I'm sick of seeing y'all do it wrong. Okay, are you ready? You're smart enough to do this, I promise. Get out your notes if you need to take some. First thing you're going to need is a Novena candle. I will be working with a candle for San Judas. As you can see, good old St. Jude always comes through in a pinch. Now you can use an intention candle as well, one that is not a saint, but so for this one I'm going to be asking for luck, just to show you how to do this. You can also just use a lucky candle if you are not comfortable working with a saint. We can go on that in a different video. Alright, so how do we begin? First thing you're going to do is you're going to select your candle, and then you're going to cleanse it. You always want to start with a cleansed candle. We have to remember that wax retains memory, which is how pretty much all candle magic works. So before we fill it with anything, we then need to cleanse it so that it's not full of everything else. This was made in a noisy factory. It was put into a box by someone who maybe wasn't having a bad day. Some lady was holding this candle in the store about 20 minutes before you bought it, yelling at her children. All of that is in your candle. We need it out. Now, you can cleanse it in your preferred way. You can pass it through some incense. You can use whatever. What I do is I have a bottle with half Florida water, half regular water, and I just live my best life. Okay. I have even seen actual like Mexican brujas do this with just like some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel. Do however you live your life. Okay, so we have our cleansed candle. First thing I do is I say a prayer over it. Now this is my tradition. If your tradition is a little bit different, you can pray a psalm, you can pray an incantation, whatever it is that you need. I say a prayer here at this point. Now, the next thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to stab holes in the top. So I don't know if you can actually see this, if I can do the makeup tutorial thing there. There you go. So you can see how the top is all flat. The best thing I have found to make the holes is a small screwdriver. This is what I use. I got it at the store. I got it like Rite Aid for like $2. Some people use like knitting needles. Some people use other things. It's going to be up to you. But I'm going to make 3 holes. Now, there's nothing special about the number of holes I'm choosing to do. This is not really a magical process. This is simply me making space for oil to go down inside. So now I don't know if you can see this, but I've made 3 holes inside of it. You can make 1 hole, you can make 2 holes, whatever you would need. As far as what to use to stab it in, again, I like to use the screwdriver. Some people use like knitting needles, but I find that they tend to bend. Same thing with like barbecue skewers. But certain novenas, depending on where you get them, will be softer than others. Sometimes you get them in the wax is very hard. So having something like a screwdriver is a little bit better. Next thing you're going to need is an oil. Now, if in doubt, use an olive oil. If you don't have special fancy oils, whatever it is, just use an olive oil. I will be using my own blend. This is a lucky oil because I am making a lucky candle here. So I'm going to shake it up. I'm going to take it out. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to drop this into the holes. Right? Now, some of these holes are going to be thirstier than others. Some will really absorb it, others not so much. Now we are going to use just enough to fill in the holes and get just a slight, and I like to stick my finger in here, just a slight coating on the top. Don't overdo it. And if you find that you have overdone it, you can pour some of it out pretty easily. So you can see, I don't have that much. I can still tip it, and it's not running out everywhere. Don't overfill your Novena candles. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But, okay, so we have the oil put in. The oil matches our intention. Since I'm going for luck, I'm using a lucky oil. If you were doing protection candle, you would use a protection oil, so on and so forth. Now, at this point, I would stop and I would say a prayer over it again. or for you, it might be an incantation, whatever it is you're going to need. Now, if you are working with a Catholic saint, as a Catholic saint, when you do this work, I would probably not necessarily utter an incantation. I would say a prayer, because it makes sense to do that with the type of spirit you are working with. But I know that all of you are going to do what you're going to do, so I can only guide you. Okay, so since this is a luck candle, I have 2 herbs picked out for this. I'm going to keep this very simple. And remember, your herbs, just like your oil, should match your intention. So I will be using 5-finger grass, also known as cinquefoil. This is a great luck herb. I'm going to add this in. And of course, depending on your tradition, you would for sure say some prayers over your herb, or you would feed them, depending on what type of path you are following. Do something to otherwise enchant your herbs. I am also using a angelica root, because anytime I'm working with saints or angels, I like to throw it in just because I find that it's very helpful in the energy. Okay, I'm going to show you this again. That is how full it is, right? It's not very full. I'm going to show you again. It's not very full. You do not need massive amounts of stuff in your novena. A little bit, it's fine. Now, what you're probably going to want to do too is if you have a lot of herb around the base of your wick, it's nice to kind of reach in there with whatever you made your holes with and move the herbs away from the bottom of your wick. Because what's going to happen is if your wick burns down and then catches some of the herb and the oil on it, then it will kind of hold on to it and just begin smoking like crazy. And then you're going to think that the devil is after you, and you're going to end up in my DMs asking what you did wrong. All you did was you dressed it a little bit wrong, right? So if you have a big smoky candle, look there first. It's usually an overdressing issue, not an actual problem. Okay, now we have our holes, we put in our oil, we put in a little bit of herb. This is when you would say your final prayer over it and light it up, right? And then you're good to go. Let's talk about some things before I leave you here. First and foremost, on the overdressing issue, there is this thing that happens particularly on like Instagram and social media where people like fill like this whole section up with herbs and oil, and then they light it, and then this huge bonfire happens, and then they're like, look at how powerful I am. This is not power, this is pyromania. They are not the same thing. If you create a bonfire in your novena, it doesn't mean that you're a powerful witch. It means that you have issues around fire. So I'm going to need you to dial it back, like a lot. And that will help keep you safe and everyone else who lives with you safe as well. If you are, channeling large amounts of power, the flame and the wick itself will be rather large. It won't be large because it has caught a bunch of stuff on fire. This is when we have people with exploding candles. It's a big fire hazard. Please be careful. And just remember, keep it Christian. It's a novena candle. It's not a pipe bomb. It's not. Okay, now the second thing that we really need to talk about when it comes to novena candles. Glitter has no place in your novena candle. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't let me catch you doing it. Let's talk about glitter. Glitter is terrible. Glitter is now, for some reason, like the most favorite magical ingredient ever, but we have to remember, glitter is little pieces of plastic. It has no spirit. It has no actual magical usage. And in fact, it ends up causing a pollution problem because since it is plastic, it doesn't degrade naturally, and it just ends up in our ocean, which if you are at least allegedly practicing an earthbound tradition, doing anything that creates pollution like that is not going to be something that you want to do. So please stop it with the glitter and stop it with the overfilling. Don't do it. I know it looks great on the gram, but that's not why we're here. We're here for witchcraft, not for Instagram, right? If you want something shiny to put inside of here, if you're trying to do like a beauty or a glamour or a prosperity or money working and you want something shiny, you can get pyrite gravel, which is like fool's gold. It's very shiny, it's gold, and it comes in like almost like a sand that you can put in. It's natural, it has spirit, it's wonderful, you can use that. You can also use mica powder if you would like. That's also very shiny, it's natural, and it comes in a bunch of different colors too. So that is a great alternative if you do want something like glitter but don't want to mess with it because, well, you shouldn't. Okay, so that is working with your Novena candles. Very easy, very quick. Don't overthink it and have faith. All right, you guys. Mucho, mucho amor. Have a good day.